The light and practice, voluntary harmony, in an open world. The light and the efforts that follow practice. Jesus did not come to receive light from the world, but to share it through his own sacrifice. He also called us to be lights that illuminate our surroundings. This is not achieved through mere words. It must be followed by action, and action requires time, effort, and sweat. Talking about love, social justice, and equality, and offering much prayer and worship, without voluntary action and effort, are all empty words. Without voluntary action, coercive and violent methods can be resorted to. Laws and regulations are merely superficial, and a coercive and controlled society loses more than it gains. Such a society becomes a desolate one, where a minority dominates the majority and benefits at the expense of the majority. This is a retrograde society, where power and light are not distributed, and where the Holy Spirit, which goes against the will of heaven, has disappeared. The order of nature and the universe. There is no eternal energy in nature and the universe, only daily food and energy exist. Therefore, nature is diligent, frugal, autonomous, and self-reliant. Even when faced with fierce competition, nature maintains balance and harmony, forming order with minimal bias and prejudice. It takes only what it needs and does not covet more. So there is no falsehood or deception. Even without laws, regulations, logic, or ideologies, nature operates harmoniously. The laws, controls, ideologies, and righteousness advocated by people are merely fragments of the world. When these things, devoid of spontaneity, are overemphasized, the harmony and equilibrium of society are disrupted, and it easily drifts toward disharmony and totalitarianism. Totalitarianism, while claiming to benefit the majority, is a structure where the majority is sacrificed for the benefit of the few. In such a society, water does not flow, and light is not dispersed, preventing purification. Corruption and disease run rampant, and vitality is lost. Social suffering and the role of light. Many have suffered in the face of social hardships like COVID-19, but some have used this as an excuse to reap personal gain. These benefits have not reached those in need, but have been consumed by individuals. Light should not seek to illuminate itself, but instead seek to reach the dark, but this has not been the case in reality. Some people, despite their actions defying the providence of heaven, advocate for social justice and equality. Such actions, which run counter to the natural flow, hinder the healing and restoration of society, purification and harmony of nature. Water flows from higher to lower places, and light moves from bright to dark. Thus, darkness and corruption disappear, and purification occurs naturally. Trees and stars form groups to spontaneously achieve harmony. To seek help without effort is to live a life of regression. When everyone's help gathers, a synergistic effect occurs, creating a better society. When people become light in the darkness, a world is created, where heaven and earth are in harmony. Spontaneous harmony, gravity, and curvilinear motion. Space does not bend according to a specific principle. All beings in nature and the universe bend to achieve their own balance. Gravity is not a force of compulsion, but a force of spontaneous harmony and balance. The shape of a tree naturally curves and harmonizes, and people move in circles. The winding nature of roads is also for the same reason. Ultimately, all existence converges into a sphere. This is not because space is warped by the mass of matter, but because matter converges into a sphere for its own balance. Inflexible social justice, egalitarianism, and political correctness, without forgiveness and reconciliation, lead to a uniform and controlling society, a theory that runs counter to the direction of light. Such a society leads people into a world of darkness where light cannot reach. Jesus' words speak of the distribution of power, and the minimization of imbalance. Nature, too, creates a new order through spontaneous harmony and balance. Despite advances in science and technology and the expansion of rights, theories that run counter to the direction of light still exist. Human beings can constantly think and expand their abilities, but if they become entangled in specific theories, they can become easily controlled and prevented from developing those abilities. The world is constantly changing, and this can be overcome by creating new truths. Jesus' words are words of light that give creative life to the world through sacrifice. Jesus came as the humblest and most suffering being, and through his sacrifice, he demonstrated creative life. A uniform and controlled society loses its autonomy and relies on coercion and violence, becoming a retrograde society where a minority dominates the majority. This leads to social devastation, a breakdown in harmony, and a constant cycle of natural disasters and disease. Attempting to change the world without changing oneself is tantamount to trying to save the world without effort. The first words Jesus spoke after his suffering in the wilderness were, "Be transformed, for the kingdom of heaven is at your fingertips." Jesus always sought out dark places, burning himself to bring warmth to those suffering. However, there are clergy who seek to receive light, rather than give it, and social, scientific, and ideological theories often argue against the direction of light. Thousands of years have passed since Jesus' arrival, yet clergy still cling to vested interests, and Jesus' suffering remains unfinished.